They're here celebrating their granddad's birthday.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bath City Radio for today's Panorama National League South clash between Dartford and Bath City, live from Prince's Park. I'm Mark Stillman, sharing commentary alongside Michael Powell, with Bob Chester on summarising duties. For a third week running, City take on a side in the upper echelons of the division, as their first post-Valentine's Day date this year wouldn't have been high on their wish list. We've stuttered to 5 defeats out of 5 at this venue, failing to net in the last 4, with 3 managers and 45 players giving it a go in these contests. Jerry Gill will be hoping that Dartford are still heartbroken from last week's shock FA Trophy exit in Needham Market, and that his own side can recover from their shyness in front of goal recently. Well, we've not been overawed by facing the top 2 in the last fortnight. Are you expecting City to give 4th place Darts a tough task today?
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and yes, I'm hoping that. I mean, at Maidstone we did a really good job, and very, very unfortunate to not at least bring back a point from our last visit to Kent here 2 weeks ago. And against Dorking, again, it was a dubious penalty decision that started to turn the game, then a wonder goal in the second half. But yes, I'm hoping we can eventually end our run of defeats here. It's not a happy hunting ground, but things can change, and it's the rain stopped here. It's a blustery afternoon in North Kent. The pitch is not looking in too bad a condition at the moment, but I think it's going to cut up a bit later. And yeah, I'd love us to bring something back from Prince's Park for the first time.
Bath City are going to get this game underway, attacking from right to left. A lot of the Dartford supporters have segregated themselves behind Ryan Clark's goal. The referee checks everything is in order, and the players take the knee. Rather sadly, he was greeted by some boos, which is not all we've encountered this season. It's completely unnecessary. Away the game goes as Rowe feeds it over to the right-hand side, looking for Cook. Comes off Bonner. Picked up from Kalala. Now back to Winter, just inside the City half. Turn away from trouble from Hyde. He slipped it in behind. It's an early chance. It's Robinson. Great challenge by Eddie Jones, and a follow-up one from Dyer prevented him. And in the end, it ricochets behind of a goal kick. And we said we didn't want Dartford to get off to a flying start, while their leading goal scorer could have got the perfect one for them.
Most definitely. And what an interception from Dyer to make sure that City didn't concede in the opening minutes. But that was really, really good play from Jordan Dyer.
He scored the winner at Havantong to Louisville the other week. Back to Bonner, now over to Tienza. Blocked, though, from Ryan Jones. City can try and break here. Ryan Jones coming in field, holding off his man. Good footwork. He's now got Dyer just inside the area. Dyer shoots, saved from Wilkes, and he gathers the loose ball on the second attempt. He didn't deflect it to a great area. Smith was almost in on it. We've had a flying start. Both teams have had openings. Given to Allen on halfway, and now Alpha getting it involved. Good footwork from the man on loan from QPR, but his ball forward is easily blocked from Rowe. Lots of loanees out there this afternoon for both teams, as Smith's got it past halfway to Delaney, and then from West Bromwich Albion. On the left-hand side, face from Winter. He's managed to squirm in between he and Kalala. Now Delaney inside the penalty area. Pulls it back to Cook, trying to turn to get a shot away. It's blocked. Dartford still can't get it fully clear. Rowe on the edge of the box. Rowe shoots, and he drags it well wide. But City have started positively here. Winter, he's back to Essam. He's over the top. It's a comfortable header from ball. He finds Rowe in space in midfield. He's got Rains inside. No, he's got a clever ball to Smith now, in behind towards Ryan Jones, and good covering from Tiencia. And a bit of a soft foul, I thought, on Bonner. Foul nonetheless, and Dartford get a little bit of respite in their own penalty area. 0-0. Nearly 5.5 minutes gone. Alford to take. Right side, it's well headed away. I thought there was a foul in there. On Rains, the shot comes in, and Clark has to get down well. It was Hyde on the edge of the box. Alpha to take this one from the other side. This time it's near the near post. Flicked on for Robinson, only just wide, and flashed across that far post, and it goes behind for a goal kick, and it's out for a Dartford throw, which Tienza takes quickly to Murtagh. Shimmies away from Troublewell. He's won a free kick for his troubles as well. On the left-hand side, around 40 yards from goal. Tienza is entrusted with this free kick. No wall for City. Essam's going up in the air, and he's got there. Bonner lays it back to Kalala. He's going to score. He does. He's managed to somehow shimmy his way into space from 6 yards out. He managed to put it through Ryan Clark, who was pretty helpless, and Calvin Kalala open to scoring with his first goal for Dartford. In the 18th minute, Dartford 1, Varsity 0.
Yeah, that was at the end of the day. The ball came for the free kick on the left-hand side. It was one in the air and eventually dropped down to Koala, who actually had a pretty easy chance to rifle into the net past Ryan Clark.
Signed in December as a free agent. He played against us a couple of years ago for Torquay in that epic 3-2. His first goal for the club in his 10th outing, the Paris-born frontman.
Feels like a horrible sense of déjà vu for City. Started well, had the chances and have conceded a fairly soft goal, and now Dartford come forward again on the left-hand side. Laid back to Alpha, who's going to have a shot, but that one's not troubling Ryan Clark. Down ball has it long, looking for Cook. He does get the better of his man, but then his layoff is intercepted by Winter, and then there is a free kick as it's a bit of an off-the-ball incident, I think, between Essam and Cook.
I was following the ball then. I didn't actually see the incident, but it looks like Cook might be getting booked for that. He is.
Yeah, Mark Stillman saying Cook slid in or might have slipped. He caught his man. He is going to get a yellow card. As Rowe is easily dispossessed, and now Merchant to Robinson, who wants a free kick. It was just good defending by Dan Ball, and it was just as well because Hyde was in acres of space. Instead, City can come the other way with Smith. Lays it to Delaney on the left, crosses in first time, and it's between the two red and blue shirts in there. Jones will pick it up on the far side, swings in across, it flicks off the head of Bonner, and behind for a Bar City corner kick. Wilkes pumps it on Kalala with an excellent first touch to bring it inside, lays it square to Alpha inside the area, finds room for a shot, and Clark does well to push it around the post. And straight from Wilkes to Kalala. Layoff, it was all a little bit too easy, and Ryan Clark did really well to turn it around the post. And then he passed it to Ball, though. Neither side keeping the ball particularly well at the moment. And Smith now into Cook midway inside the Dartford half. Plays it out to Delaney on the left. Goes back to Dyer. Then chips it out to Eddie Jones on the Bar City right. He's quickly closed down by Tienza. Onto his namesake Ryan. Still with Ryan Jones, just inside the area. Plays it square to Dyer, 20 yards out in space, goes for a shot, it's blocked. Comes back the way of Batten. Into Dyer once again, he's closed down by Allen, square to Rowe. Now out to Rains on the Bar City right, crosses in first time, but that's too close for Wilkes. Delaney forward to Smith on the City left, out 20 yards out, quickly closed down, does well to cut inside, still with Smith. Gonna go for a shot, but it's straight down the throat of Wilkes. Ryan Jones has it in the centre circle. Lays it to Dyer, 25 yards out. Lays it to Rains, just inside the area. Rains appeals for handball as it ricochets off Tienza, and it will just be a corner kick.
That was a very swift, incisive move, though, by City, and it results in the corner on the right-hand side.
I wonder if, because of the wind, and it is into him in this first half, whether he's almost trying to a different type of kick, a lower, flatter one, and it's just not quite come off as Jones plays a lovely ball to Delaney down the left, inside the area, cuts inside Kalala, Delaney pulls it back, and it's put wide by Rains. There's a good chance with that. The half-time whistle goes. Bar City cut through Dartford there, and Joe Rains' strike just went the wrong side of the post.
That was a wonderful move and fantastic work from Delaney, who actually fell to the floor in despair when, after that great work, and Joe Rains coming in, and with his left foot just pushes it a whisker past the post. That was so close. And City, I think, should have been celebrating now with the equaliser, but they go off now 1-0 down.
As Dartford get the second half underway, Allen goes back to Winter in the right back position. Over the top, and the ball holds in the wind, so the wind is now in Bar City's favour this half, attacking from left to right. Clears up towards Ryan Jones, who's now received it off Eddie Jones down the right hand side. He might want to get onto his left foot, running at Bonner. Still Ryan Jones near the edge of the penalty area, squares it to Rowe, 30 yards out. Rowe with a left-footed ambitious shot, drifts harmlessly wide. Tried to find Smith on the left-hand side, he's lost it. Delaney's bustling back, so he's caught out of position now as Dartford can try and break with Kalala running at ball, running inside now, near the edge of the box towards Alpha. He's managed to get there first, Alpha, trying to make room for himself, sort of shimmying across the edge of the penalty area. There's so many City shirts in his way, he's playing it to the right-hand side. Winter does keep it in play, and Kalala managed to sneak their header ball. The final touch come off the man making his 299th appearance, and it's behind for another Dartford corner. Alpha to take. It's a volley in the end. It looked like a routine, but it fell to the wrong man. It's a centre-back in Essam, and in trying to direct it goalwards, hammered it out the ground. As Rains loses out in midfield. Good challenge from Dyer. Now to Rains on halfway. He's got Smith up in front of him. He's gone to his right to Ryan Jones. A little bit isolated at the moment. Near the corner of the penalty area. Eddie Jones is making an overlapping run. Ryan Jones trying to create space. He shoots with his left foot, and the sting was taken out of it from Tienza, which means it's an easy gather for Wilkes. Rains wins the ball on the right, battling with Hyde. City win it back with Rowe. He's got Dyer in space on the left, and Dyer waited for the ball, and it was robbed off him far too easily from Winter. Nice hit in behind Allen near the edge of the box. Allen on his left foot, cuts inside, still making space, and shot's not the best. It's easy gathered from Ryan Clark. Wilkes' ball forward isn't great either, but still manages to find to a man in white. Rowe gets his body in front of the ball and is fouled 2 or 3 times from Murtagh. The referee indicates that's about your 3rd offence, and as a result, you're going to pick up a yellow card, son. Yeah, I think he was definitely on his last warning there, Murtagh. It's his 5th yellow of the season, but we're past the point of suspensions. As Ball has it, past halfway. Again, ball forward's not the best, but it's out to Dyer. Now Rains has a go, and it's only a yard or so wide from Joe Rains, and 25 yards out, and he couldn't quite find the target, but I think Wilkes was a little bit scared. Alpha picks it up in midfield. Back to Tienza. McIntyre to Alpha again. Oh, that's a yellow card from Rowe, who's clipped Alpha as he tried to run away from him.
That was a totally needless foul, wasn't it, from Callum Rowe? I think he's going to get booked for that.
Well, he should do. I mean, no attempt to play the ball. They're doing enough at the moment to keep City at bay. They still lead by a goal to nil 20 minutes into this second half as Cook drops deep to pick up the ball. Good ball over to the right side to Jones. Should get there before Tienza. Jones sends it towards the near post, straight into the foot of Captain Bonner, who returns it out for a Bow City throw. And again, Bob, I think we needed a man to run at the front post.
Yeah, exactly. That's happened again and again.
Thrown to Cook near the byline. City keen to get on with it quickly. Now back to Rowe near the corner of the penalty. He's got time to cross. He does towards the back post. Dyer heads it wide, and it's ghosted in behind Winter. He couldn't find the target. It's gone around a yard or so wide. Bow City have had chances in this game.
Exactly, they have, yeah. And sadly, with most of them, they've just gone the wrong side of the post.
As Alex Fletcher is stripped and ready, and will be making an introduction. And it's going to be like for like, because Cody Cook is the man who's going to make way. Elliot Freer coming on, and Tom Smith's going to be the man who makes way. As Elliot Freer has 12 minutes to try and make an impact. He puts it in low, Batten flicks it, comes to Fletcher, it's blocked by Winter. And Dartford can clear through Hyde. Not sure it was the exact intention, as Rains judged to have fouled Leonard on the halfway line. Batten who stabs it forward. Bonner beats Fletcher in the ear. Rowe with a heavy touch, loses out to Hyde, lays it into Allen, forward looking for Dunga in the area, shoots off the crossbar and away, so close to Dublin Bar City's lead and putting this game beyond doubt, but the woodwork saves the Romans. Marcus Dinanga, oh so close.
That was sort of like rattled the underside of the crossbar. I thought it was going to end up going in.
Batten's underneath the long ball forward, Rains flicks it on, Rhodes stabs it over the top, Fletcher will go chasing after it. It's not the best pass for Wilkes. He's gifted it. It's going to come to Jones. He's forced a little bit wide. Bar City still on the front foot. Plays it inside to Rowe, 20 yards out. Tries to cross to the far side. Dyer nods it back. Delaney getting the last touch, comes off the West Bromwich Albion loanee. It'll be a throw into Dartford, but for a moment it looked like the Romans were going to be gifted away back into the game. Crossfield ball is poor though, picked out by Eddie Jones. Now Rains forward to Ryan Jones on the halfway line. Closed down by Allen, skips away from him and plays it into Freer in the centre circle. And to Rains, slightly heavy touch. Loose ball breaks back to Ryan Jones to go forward down the right-hand side. Looks to take on Tienza. Still with Jones, going around the outside of him. And in the end, he can't quite keep it in play. It goes behind for a Dartford goal kick. Deja vu. Once again, they've gone toe-to-toe and at times outplayed one of the top teams in National League South, but still have nothing to show for it. And now straight through the middle is Denanga. This would settle it. It's getting Denanga and he's blocked by Ball. Brilliant defending by Dan Ball to keep Bath City in it as they push more and more men forward. Dartford are having some late chances, but at the moment it's still one as Kalala gets to loose ball ahead of Jones, drives forward. Dyer gets a block in. Loose ball is going to break the way of Dan Ball. Clark plays it forward first time.
Yeah, City are pushing players up. They're going to leave some gaps at the back now, and they need to make sure that it counts and they don't get done by a sucker punch.
Rowe with it in the centre circle. Out to Delaney on the Bath City left, midway inside the Dartford half. So many white shirts back in the box. Still with Delaney, forward into Fletcher. A bit of a heavy touch. Bonner will head it away, only as far as Dyer, 30 yards out. It's going to go for a shot, and that one's comfortable for Wilkes to gather down to his right-hand side. It's all about Storm Eunice yesterday. It's not quite been Storm Bath City, but Dartford have had to weather a lot of pressure in this second half. There's no Batten. His ball's behind range. Dyer sliding in, can't quite get it. Bonner will then launch it forward to Denanga. Chance for him to drive forward. He's got Kalala and Cramden up with him. Ball holds him up. Then gives possession back to Kalala. Jones slides in and Ball will keep it in play. It's forward to Rains. Does really well to skip away from Allen up to the halfway line. Square to Dyer in the centre circle. He's got Jones in acres of space to the left. Uses him. He's got Winter with him, still with Ryan Jones. Cuts inside, the edge box, goes for goal, and he sliced it over the crossbar.
Again, a really incisive move, good play.
Murtagh's there to head. Jones batting away with Rowe in the centre circle. He's done really well to skip away from Allen and drive forward. Still with Rowe, out to Jones on the left. He's wiped out, referee plays advantage. Jones into the area, shot is blocked by Winter. Lays it back to Delaney. 25 yards out. Back out to Jones. Got Winter with him. He's held up. Still with Jones. Winter's forced him back to Rowe on the halfway line. Back to Clark. Dartford being urged out as Clark pumps it long. Bonner is underneath it. Batten will pick up the loose ball on the halfway line. Plays it square to Rains. 60 seconds for Bath City to rescue something. Out to Jones, now on to Freer. Kalala gets a foot in, out for a Bath City throw-in. And Freer takes it to Eddie Jones. Tienza gets a foot in, back to Freer. Manages to swing it across, it's flicked on by Dyer, appeals for handball. Referee says no. Dartford can come the other way with Lonard. It's 3-on-3 if they play it right. Lonard driving forward. Jones going all the way back with him, still with Lonard, skips inside, still going inside the area, he's pulled back by Ball, it's going to be a penalty. And in the dying embers of stoppage time, it's a penalty to Dartford. And Bath City, having put so much into this game, are going to come up short once again in Kent.
Yeah, that was, he pulled his arm, he was running at such speed, and it will be the last kick of the game with this penalty, and what we were hoping for was a possible 1-1 draw will go down on the records as a possible 2-0 defeat. And here we go.
Stenanga sends Clark the wrong way into the bottom corner. With that, the referee blows the full-time whistle. It is the last kick of the game. It finishes Dartford 2, Bath City 0, but that does not remotely tell the story of this game. Bath City, so much possession, so much pressure, some good chances in the second half, and for the third week in a row, Bob, they probably haven't got what their performance deserves.
Yep, a very disappointing result at 2-0, but again, City did so well for most of the game, and I know I'm saying the same thing as I said at Maidstone, but the City definitely deserved something out of this, and luck is not going with them, fortune is not favouring them, and there's just perhaps the other sides have got that shade more quality at times, but City have worked so hard, and it's again very unfortunate that they're going to travel back to Bath with no points in the bag.
Well, thanks very much for your input this afternoon, Bob, and Mark as well. Mark will be back alongside myself on Tuesday night for that trip to Welton Rovers. But here at Prince's Park, after Storm Eunice swept through the country yesterday, Bar City tried to whip up a storm of their own, but they huffed, they puffed, they couldn't blow down the Dartford door. Calvin Kalala's first half strike and a last-minute penalty kick from Manus Dinanga, giving the hosts all 3 points. From the three of us, thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon. We'll be back on Tuesday, but until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend.